Oh, I'm finally here. So sorry, guys. Greetings, greetings, and welcome back to Travel with Tay Tay. I was having some technical difficulties. I wanted to try StreamYard, right? Every time I want to try something new, I need to educate myself before the fact, but yeah, it just didn't work. It didn't work. So I'm finally here. Greetings. Welcome back to Travel with Tay Tay. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Shantae. If you are new to my channel, please consider clicking like, share, and subscribe. And to my day ones, nakam, which means how is it? Happy Sunday, and happy Monday to my brothers and sisters in the East, back East. Happy Monday. I hope you all are having a great Sunday. I am a little tired. I don't know if you can tell. I have my glasses on and then the reflection, so I apologize, but I am a little tired. Yeah, I'm a little tired. I was up late last night making, shameless plug. I don't have any labels for my jars. I already told y'all about that. But I was making some Moisturize Me for this hair, right? Can you see it? No, because of the reflection. Sorry. But yeah, made some Moisturize Me for my hair. And my hair definitely missed my products. Definitely missed my products. This camera is doing my hair no justice. It's popping, okay? But it's going into a protective style, so very soon. So yeah, guys, it's been a while. I know it's been a while since I went live. I don't want to say a lot has been going on, but I'm grinding, right? Trying to create my empire. African Delta. Greetings. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. So I've been wanting to do this live for a while on this specific subject, which is the Willie Lynch Syndrome, right? Recently, you all know I was on the East Coast and I was talking to my brother, and he was telling me about a man that said that the Willie Lynch syndrome, the Willie Lynch letter, that he wrote the Willie Lynch letter and that it wasn't real, right? I don't know how true that is. But what I can say is what I see with the letter, that's what I see in our people. So whether it's true or not, it looks real. It looks real. So let's talk about the Willie Lynch letter. I'm not going to keep y'all all evening, I promise, because I am extremely exhausted. But welcome. Now I'm going to post this, right? As I was going through my pictures and things like that to see what physical pictures I had. As you all are aware, we had a death in the family, and I'm the one that has all the pictures. So I went into my physical pictures to see which pictures I had, and I found this. And I was like, what a perfect way for me to talk about this. One love, Garnett. Jallo, you're a fula. So let's get comfortable. What Willie Lynch had to say in 1712. I'm going to get real comfortable, you all, because this is near and dear to my heart. I always talk about the plight of our people, I always talk about how I'm not necessarily, and this is not to disrespect any other nationality, but I always say how I'm not necessarily worried about other nationalities because I'm African first, and my African people around the planet, around the world, we're suffering. So I can't fight no one else's battle until our battle has been won. And ours has not been won. We know that. Look at what's going on in the world with our people. So we know it has not been won. So I'm African first. So my people comes first. They come first. What Willie Lynch had to say in 1712. The following has been credited to Willie Lynch, a slave owner, who reportedly made the speech on the banks of the James River in 1712. Now, I calculated 1712 to here, to now. That was 310 years ago. It was quoted at length by Minister Louis Farrakhan at the Million Man March, where it stunned many in the audience because of the cold-blooded way it described how the minds of African Americans can be enslaved. The minds of African Americans being enslaved. It's no longer chains and whips, right? It's drugs, it's alcohol, it's the over-sexualizing our women, it's the feminization of our men, it's the sterilization of our women and our men. Let me get back to this. According to an essay appearing in Brother Man, The Odyssey of Black Men in America, in an anthology, Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies who came to the United States to tell American slave owners how to keep their slaves under control. The term lynching is derived from Lynch's name. African Delta, you got me. He said, absolutely, African only. We have no friends or allies. Gentlemen, that's what African Delta said. Gentlemen, this is Willie Lynch. This is the speech. Now, I've read this a couple times, and it seems like the verbiage may be a little different, but it's pretty much the same. So this is the version that I have. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the bank of the James River in the year of our Lord, 1712. That means 1712, you all. I think you all knew that. Sorry, teacher in me. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I'm here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. Your invitation reached me on my modest plantation in the West Indies, where I have experimented with some of the newest and still the oldest methods of slaves. Ancient Rome would envy us if my program were implemented. As our boat sailed south on the James River, named after our illustrious king, whose version of the Bible we cherish. I'm not going to touch that one. I saw enough to know that your problem is not unique. While Rome used cords of woods as crosses for standing human bodies along its highways in great numbers, you are here using the tree and the rope on occasion. I caught the whiff of a dead slave hanging from a tree a couple of miles back. You are not only losing a valuable stock by hangings, you are having uprisings. Slaves are running away. Your crops are sometimes left in the fields too long for maximum profit. You suffer occasional fires. Your animals are killed. Gentlemen, you know what your problems are. I do not need to elaborate. I am not here to enumerate your problems. I'm here to introduce you to a method of solving them. In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your Black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that, if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. He said 300 years, right? I just told you it's 310 years. It's been. That's why we're waking up. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and I make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. These methods have worked on my modest plantation in the West Indies, and it will work throughout the South. Take this simple little list of differences and think about them. On top of my list is age, but it is there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantations, status on plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slave lived in the valley, on hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, have coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust. Envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The Black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-regenerating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old Black male versus the young Black male. The young Black male against the old Black male. You must see the dark-skinned slaves versus the light-skinned slaves, and the light-skinned slaves versus the dark-skinned slaves. You must use the female versus the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all Blacks. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. They must love. No. Sorry. Gentlemen, these kits are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss an opportunity. If it's used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll make a copy and post this. Now let's talk about it. It's heavy. Let me get it. This is water with lemon. Now, since I've read it, I knew. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, it's a myth. It's not real. Someone made up this letter. This is what's going on with our people. Let's break it down. Now, I don't remember when the Million Man March was, but hearing this at a march, at the Million Man March, I know they were astonished. Okay, so I have a few key points. And, I think some of our brothers and sisters may not like what's being said, but we all know that the truth hurts. The truth will set us free. But we need truth, right? In order for change, in my opinion. But I think we need truth. Okay. So I'm going to leave the first part. I'm going to break down the Willie Lynch syndrome. So we all know that I know I have trust issues, right? We as a people sometimes won't trust each other. We won't frequent each other's shops. We'll say that, oh, their store is too expensive or they don't give the best customer service. I mean, how many times do we complain about contacting AT&T, T-Mobile, TMC, that's a hospital, any of these corporations or even supermarkets or even fast food places that we don't own, and how do they treat us? But we keep giving them our money. We keep making them rich. We keep sending their children to college. What about us? What about our children? We're so much harder on ourselves, on each other. Why? Now, don't get me wrong. We do have to hold people accountable. So, yes, I'm being hard on some people, but that's totally different. That's an isolated situation. But I'm talking about as a people. We have a hard time supporting each other. We have a hard time loving each other. We would rather break each other down instead of lift each other up. You know, you all know what's being said about me, or was. People done left me alone now. But, you know, for what? We could lift each other up. We have these platforms. Some of us have larger platforms than others. You know, we have a way to lift each other up and promote each other and support each other. You know, there were some things that were said about me last year where, why are you helping them? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Because we are our brother's keeper, right? Whether we are religious or not, we're supposed to look out for each other. My stepdad is from Pakistan, right? Even if he does not like a fellow Pakistani, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that properly, he will still frequent their store. Why? Because they understand the importance of keeping their money within each other, within their community. They understand that. We don't. And why? I feel like it goes back to the Willie Lynch syndrome. These are things that have been indoctrinated into us through media, through TV. Don't like your brother. Don't like your sister. They're doing better than you. Don't like them. But how about some of us have the mentality to, wow, if we make it, let me pull my brother up. Let me pull my sister up. Let me educate them. Let me tutor them. Let me be a mentor. Let me mentor them. We don't often get that. Even me, when I studied abroad, you know, I was grateful that the director took me under her wing and sent me to different HBCUs to promote study abroad to Africa. Mentored me, you know, for a couple years. And then, you know, you sometimes, you know, people come into your life for a reason or a season. And at that time, it was a season to teach me some things that I needed to know. She has her PhD. I'm not going that far. But, you know, we need people to, if someone is in a position to help someone else, we need to reach back and help the other person. We do. Um, just like if someone is a young person and they're a tailor, they want to learn. They come into the tailor's shop. The tailor start helping them. You know, they start helping the tailor with little things. That's how we receive skills. But we all need a mentor, you know, especially if we're going into a career that we know nothing about. People that are starting businesses, their families don't have, or they don't have access to someone that has started a business. That's why we need to reach back and help each other. But why are we not doing that as a people? There's plenty of people that are doing it, but why are we not doing it as a people? Tell me, y'all take on your feedback on what I read. I don't want this to be a lecture. um, let's start with so I started with the distrust and the fear. When slavery ended, um, there was, many slaves couldn't read. They couldn't read, they couldn't write. If they did start reading or writing and learning, they were killed. Frederick Douglass tells us about that, right? So they started putting in the newspapers. They started implementing fear in the newspapers in the Europeans, to Bob's, the white people. I don't want to say white people because there's no colors. I don't play that color thing. But in the Europeans' minds, oh, they're going to rape our women. They're going to rape our girls. They're going just perpetuating this stereotype of us that, that wasn't even us. All of these things were happening to our people, our ancestors, the slaves. All of these things were happening to them. And once we were free, let's put this in quotation. It's not funny though, but once we were free, then it was, they're dangerous. They're this. They're predators. Fear. I just want to touch on the love for them, right? Because being in the Gambia, some of our brothers and sisters, I don't know why, right? Someone said to me, imagine being under a dictatorship for 2 decades, right? And not being able to speak out and freely think and do things. And I don't even think it's been 10 years since the Gambia wasn't under dictatorship. So I understand the way of thinking sometimes. I was in front of AfriCell and a man was out there. He's an African man, Gambian, and it was an American man that walked up. He had just got to the Gambia. I think it was like his second day there. And we were sitting out there talking, and the Gambian brother, he was a little drunk. He was a little drunk. And he was like, oh, this is my friend. This is my friend. And I think the guy was Pakistani or Indian or something. So I saw, the guy was just like, yeah. So once he told him, where I was from, then the guy wanted to ask me 1,000,001 questions. I'm not answering your questions. But I started talking to the Gambia brother, and he's like, oh, yeah, he's my friend. He's my friend. So before the guy came out there, I was like, because he was on the phone. No, he was out there. He was on the phone. So he walked away to have the conversation. And I said, how is he your friend? Do you go to his house for dinner? No. Does he come to your house for dinner? No. Then how is he your friend? So once I started talking to him about some real things, then he realized, okay, she's not one of them. Because some of our people that come over there, and I'm not just talking about Americans, some people come over there and they look at our brothers and sisters like acting like the two Bobs. So I said that to say this. Some of our brothers and sisters do love them. I met a brother in the village. He was like, oh, I hate this black skin. Sometimes I was like, oh my God. I don't agree with you on that. So I can't relate. And I'm looking at the brothers with me and I'm like, what's wrong with him? Self-hate. Some of the systems that they set into place gets deeper into others than it does for many. Look at society. People are ridiculed for wearing too many clothes. You remember the people that were the Muslims that were fully covered up and went to the beach and people made such a big deal about it? Why? You mad because you can't see their body? I don't understand the mindset of society nowadays. And anyone that thinks differently, they're like, they're crazy. You're crazy. And I'm like, sometimes I feel like I live in a crazy world. You know, the Bible says we are in this world, but not of this world. I don't know if the Quran or any other religious book says these things, but that resonates with me. I am in this world, but I am not of this world. I get it. I get it. Because some of the things that people say is normal, I'm like, that's not normal. And we're looked at it like we're crazy because we think differently. We think, I guess we're dealing in our higher vibrations. So we take these differences and we enlarge them and we focus on them and we make them bigger. Age. Now, yes, I am getting older and I don't want to say I'm having a problem with it, but I'm accepting it. I have no other choice, right? I talked to someone today and they will be going into their 70s. And they said to me, that's a different, how did they say it? It's a different generation and they have to mentally prepare themselves for it. And I said to myself, yeah, because I'm 42. I remember when I was 24. And I'm like, damn, I'm in my 40s. Still early 40s, thank God, but I'm in my 40s, right? So as a woman, as a middle-aged woman, and the way I train, sometimes my body feel elderly, but as a middle-aged woman, you know, I don't want to look at the younger people, the younger women and be hating on them. No, I had my chance, right? It's not like my life is over, so I'm going to live the hell out of the rest of it. But still, you know, people take age and turn it against each other. I never really thought about it that it came from the Willie Lynch, but yeah, color. Now that's a big one. That's a big one, and that one brings tears to my eyes at times. Our sisters and brothers around the world, even in the States and even in the UK, are bleaching. And to know that this started from slavery, the light skin against the dark skin, we know about that. The house nigga, the house. I was about to say the street nigga, but that's not what it is. What it was the house slave and it was the yard slave, right? The outdoor slave. Help me with the verbiage. But the house slaves were of the lighter skin, the lighter complexion, you know. And you know, I was born like this. Well, I'm happy I got a little bit browner because I was light bright. But to know that people will put chemicals on their bodies to be light skinned. And for what? Because you think you have a better life? You're still black. They gonna look at you like you're still black. You know, I don't know if I've gotten many jobs based on my skin complexion, based on my name, based on the way I speak. I don't know. But I do know when I got to these jobs and they see this natural hair and they realize I'm not an Oreo, that I'm not chocolate covered, then it started to be issues. Oh, she too black. They don't say that, but their actions speak for itself. So I have the darkest I've been was when I went to Cuba and I was chocolate. I loved it. But then in the winter, I get lighter. I have no control over that. If there was something to make my skin darker, I probably would use it. But I don't want to use chemicals to get rid of melanin, you know? Excuse me. I see, I'm friends with some people in the Gambia. And when I see people getting lighter and lighter, so at first I'm like, it's the makeup. Now look at the knuckles. And these are all dark. And I'm like, wow. I want to ask them why. I really do, but I don't want to be intrusive, right? And I don't want to be rude. But knowing that people will bleach their skin because they think that they're going to have a better life is sad. It's sad. And I did cry when one of the women told me that. She was from the Sudan. And she asked me, I told her she bought some hair product from me. And she asked me, did I have any like lotion? I was like, yeah, I make a body butter. See, feel my skin. She was like, oh, your skin nice and soft. And she said that she wanted to lighten her skin. And like I said, I sat down and I just had tears in my eyes. And I'm like, sister, why? You're so strict with your religion. So you're telling Allah that he made you wrong. What if you get skin cancer and die? What happens to your 4 children? It's self-hate. And it stems from the Willie Lynch. Truth or myth, y'all? Sounds like truth to me so far. So I implore you. I beg you, if you are bleaching your skin, please stop. Do you know that 2 Bobs lay in the sun and expose themselves to cancer to look like us? They lay in tanning salons to look like us. So this is a gift from God. And we want to change it? I want to be white. Your white don't even look right. If you've seen someone that bleached their skin, their light skin look crazy. Because it's not normal. Love the skin you're in. God made you that way. Your creator made you that way. Allah made you that way. Whoever you call God, whoever you call your God, you were made that way. Love the skin you're in. I didn't love the skin I was in when I was 244 pounds, so I changed that. But that's healthy. I'm not going to put something on my skin to make myself look lighter. No. And there are things that I expose myself to that I shouldn't, right? Now I'm going to quit. But it's not skin bleaching. No. Please, love the skin you're in. I tell the children, promise me you won't ever bleach your skin. I walk them to it and I'm like, oh, yangi nice. Yangi nice day. But I'm talking about their skin. Your skin is beautiful. And they're shy. But to know that God made you this way and don't bleach your skin. And they say, I promise. Good. Okay. Intelligence. That's a good one. So I don't want to step on anyone's toes here, right? But intelligence. So, when you meet someone, they're like, oh, so where did you go to school? Oh, what is your career? Like that determines who you are. But then again, being born in a Western or capitalistic society, because I think the UK is just like us, just like America. But being born in a capitalistic society, like I put on my page, we're taught to get yours. I got to get mine. I got to get mine. I got to get this. I got to get on my grind. I got to do this, right? And we forget to stop and live. But we're judged depending on where you live. Oh, I live in, okay, so let me see. Let's use California since it's close, right? So someone that lives in California, if they live in Malibu, compared to someone that lives in Compton, right? Now, most of the time, if someone lives in Malibu, they're not going to be African unless they're wealthy. Wealthy. But if Malibu was Atlanta, right? Um, depending on where you went to school, your level of intelligence, that determines who you hang out with, determines a lot of things. But people that are more educated will look at someone and look down on them. Someone that went to, so say someone that has their doctorate. You went to a community college and you have an associate's degree like me, yeah, they're looking down on you. There was an instance where for study abroad, remember I told you study abroad to Africa, I was in the Baltimore, Maryland area. And me and the director met in Baltimore and we went to an event. It was African women. It was the African women brunch. There were a few students that were there. I think it was 3 or 4 students that were there. And I was one of the key speakers. So my director had told me, she said, prepare yourself. These women are bougie, all African. But she said, these women are bougie. I'm like, okay, I've been around people that are wealthy, right? I tend to not say anything too much because I don't want to sound stupid, right? Just real talk. So I walk in. Before we got in, me and my director got out the car, and it was a woman and a young lady, and they were in a drop top Benz. And she gets out, it's an older Benz. She gets out, and we're talking, and she says, oh, where did you go to school? I was like, oh, Brookdale Community College. She turned right around. She no longer talked to me. She turned around. I said, ooh, damn, that's not just bougie. That's rude, right? I go in. We have our lunch, whatever. I speak. And at the end, she comes over to me and she's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Now she's praising me. I hope you keep moving forward with your education and this, that, but you just judge me based off of me having an associate's degree. Intelligence. I mean, it's not even, I think the list has even gotten larger, right? Because y'all know I don't live in a house. I live in an apartment, right? But do you know that people that live in a home, that live in a house, would judge people that live in an apartment? Why? You have somewhere to stay. You're not homeless, right? Everyone doesn't have the same amount of money in their pockets and their bank accounts. But this is the Willie Lynch. This is the syndrome. This is the remnants of what was told to the slave owners in 1712. And this is what we're living. So when will we wake up and say enough is enough? I'm not going to look at my brother and sister like that. Even if you start to think that, you consciously push that thought out of your mind. We all have judging. We all have judgmental values in us, right? Judgmental traits is what I should say. You look at someone, oh, they look homeless. Well, even if you don't say it out loud, you might say something in your mind. Oh, they look a hot mess. Or blah, blah, blah. Why are they dressed like that? Why is their car like that? Why is their hair like that? Just judging. Just judging. So I just say, let's just stop and consciously think about how we look at our brothers and sisters. The syndrome has taken an effect on us, on all of us. But we have to consciously fight against it. So, size. Big against small. Small against big. People say I'm small. I told my friend today, I said, yeah, I weigh 183. I don't mind saying how much I weigh. I told people when I weighed 244 pounds. So I was like, I weigh 183. And she was like, no way. No way you weigh 183. Mm-hmm. She says, you look smaller than that. I'm not. I wish I was, though. So I've been big and I've been small. And we will discriminate against each other based on weight. When I first started working out, walking around Asbury Park, you all can see a little bit of Asbury. I didn't ride around too much because it was too cold. But I started walking around Asbury Park with my cousin's dog. And the things that were said, oh, she's too big. Why she? Well, if I'm big, I'm out here working out. That's like when people crack on fat people at the gym. Well, they're in the right place to make some changes, right? So someone that is overweight and express wanting to lose weight, I'm always there for them because I know where they are, right? I'm going to do a video on my weight loss because I do get so many messages in regards to thank you for encouraging me, thank you for your motivation, thank you for inspiring me. And being on a continent, you just gonna lose weight regardless because it's hot and you sweat. But coming back I got down to about 170. I don't even know what, I don't know what I weighed. I think it was like 80. I want to say 80 kilos. I'm not sure what I weighed because I didn't weigh myself while I was there. But as y'all can see, I was smaller, right? So I don't necessarily get on the scale a lot. I got on the scale this morning because I was curious. I don't get on the scale a lot. I let my clothes tell me, because you know how your clothes feel. So I let my clothes tell me, and then my gym tells me to stay off the damn scale. They literally tell us that, stay off the damn scale. And that's because when you're working out, you're losing inches, you're gaining muscle. So some people that are 200 pounds, they all muscle. I seen a girl, I was like, dang, she 200? I don't want to be 200 again. Like I say 5'9", but I think I'm 5'8¾". But I'm tall. Y'all can tell. You see my legs. I'm tall. So I tend to carry my weight well. And I think people think I'm slimmer than what I am. You really didn't notice the difference until you saw it in pictures. Even my mom, when I showed her, when I did my comparison picture, she was like, oh my God, I didn't know you were that big. So I carried my weight well, but I wasn't comfortable. That was too much weight for my body, right? So I know where people are coming from when they are just starting in their weight loss journey. It's hard. It's hard to quit anything that you've been doing for so long, and it has become a habit. Let me say that again. It's hard to quit something that you've been doing for so long when it's become a habit, right? I told y'all I was tired. Don't judge me. So it is, for me to go from 244 pounds to 174 pounds naturally, eating right, exercising. For me to have to lose 10 to 15 pounds again, I'm like, I don't want to do that, but I have to, and I know it was stress eating. I wasn't myself. And I wasn't even necessarily working out. I was working out here and there, but I was just eating whatever I wanted. I was drinking sodas. I lost my mind. I was just like, whatever. I'm just counting down my days to leave. So I say, if you see someone that's heavier than you or smaller than you, fight against the urge to judge them. Please fight against that urge, because no one knows what someone else is going through. So the size of the plantation. So I'm going to mix those two together. The size of the plantation, the status of the plantation. So in our world, status is everything. I am this. I'm the CEO of this. I'm the vice president of that. Status. But who knew that that's where that came from? The size of your home. Oh, you live in an apartment? I got a 5-bedroom house. Well, good for you. You got taxes up the wazoo? No, let me stop. Because I'm not going to say owning a property is a huge thing. It's a great asset. That is something that you purchase that is of appreciating value. A car is of depreciating value. So, to all the homeowners, kudos to you. I want to be a homeowner, just not in America. Because if I pay six figures for something and then I don't pay my taxes, then guess what happens? They take my house. So are we really leasing for the rest of our lives in America? I don't know. But I know the taste that I have, I can't afford it. My dream home was $479,000 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. I can't afford it. But we shouldn't be judged based on where we live, because I'm just happy that I have a roof over my head in America. Attitude of owners. He likes me better. He doesn't like. It's just, it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess when we think about, because these are things that wouldn't necessarily come to my mind. I'm not a malicious person. I don't try to get over on people. So to really sit down and write down these things as to how to break down a group of people, who does that? What wicked person in their mind writes these things? That's because so many people know who we are. Until we know who we are, we're going to continue to suffer. Many other nationalities know who we are. They know how great we are. They know their history better than us. Because in America, our natural history isn't being taught. Our not going to say natural history, our actual history, our true history isn't being taught. How many times were we taught in school who the inventors were? Many times I didn't learn a lot of the things. Many times I didn't learn things until I was an adult of how great our people are. And I know that this is Black History Month, but Black History is every month. Every month, every day, 365 days out of the year. I am proud to be African. Proud to have this brown skin and this curly hair, these high cheekbones, these natural, this is what God gave us. If you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone to love you? And I'm not talking about narcissism, right? Because people look at me, you're so beautiful. I don't see what everyone else see, right? I know that I clean up well. I know I'm not ugly. But, sometimes when I stand in the mirror, I want to change this. I want to change that. I got to work on this. I got to work on that. Not thinking about, look at where you came from. Celebrating my accomplishments instead of breaking down more of the things that I want to change about myself, right? None of us are perfect, right? But self-love is extremely important, especially when the world is trying to tell you you're ugly, you're this, straighten your hair. No, we have to support and love each other. Give each other a compliment. You see a sister, she look nice, sister, you look nice. Give her a compliment, brother. I always say to the men, especially the older, handsome men, oh, hello, young man. Young, but it brings a smile to his face. I say that to the older women. Hello, young lady. It's just making someone feel good. It's nothing wrong with that. Especially, but when we start loving each other and showing each other love and support, other nationalities say, oh, you hate us. No. We could love someone. Why can't we love each other? When the world is hating us, why can't we love each other? We can. I give you permission. Oh, Chawu Tete. Tete gives you permission to love on your brother and sister that look like you. It's okay. It's okay. But so let's talk about hair. I'm not going to take a long time on hair, y'all, because y'all know I could talk hair for hours. But you remember the it was a documentary, Good Hair? I think that was Chris Rock's video, right? We all know when people have that silky smoothie hair. Okay, so for people that know hair, we talking about maybe the threes, 3B, 3C, 4A, the silky smoothie hair. They got the nice curls, not like mine, right? I got 4C hair, right? 4A, 4B in some spots, but the majority of my hair is 4C. And I don't have the perfect cylinder curls. I have the Z's, right? But I love my hair. One day, a sister asked me to do her hair, do some twists, a protective style. So I said, okay. And I look at her hair, and it's she got you wet her hair. She has the high porosity hair. So as soon as the water hit it, her hair opens up, right? I didn't know how to do her hair. So I did her hair, but because her hair was so fine, when I do my hair, when I twist my hair, do flat twists, you see the parts, but you don't see my hair because it's so thick. But hers is fine. And I was like, I didn't, and I told her, I said, sister, I don't like the way I did your hair. Do not pay me. I don't like the way I did your hair. And she was like, why? I said, because I can see your scalp. So it's funny because, and that's when I said to myself, oh, thank you, God, for the hair I have. Right? I don't know how to do hair like that. So when people say, oh, you want biracial? I live in Arizona, right? So it's a lot of Latinos. Oh, you should get a Mexican so you have a biracial child. And I'm like, why? That's not what I want. Oh, they're so beautiful. So only biracial children are beautiful? Mm-mm. Because some of our beautiful chocolate babies, that's not what I want. But people want to push that. I wouldn't know what to do with their hair. Right? I'd be doing this little girl hair. I'm like, what the world am I doing? I wouldn't know what to do with her hair. So, hair is we. I love that India Arie said, I'm not my hair. But hair plays such a big part in the African American community that it's not even funny. Right? We have versatility. Thank God. We have the opportunity to wear our hair how we want it. We could braid it up. We could twist it up. We could straighten it. We could put a weave in it. Me, so I'm not necessarily against weaves. I just don't wear them myself. First of all, the hair is too much money. I'm not paying that much money for anybody's hair. That's just me, right? The hair is too much money. But it's a great protective style. I don't like straight hair. I've had 4 weaves in my whole life. And I was like, oh my God, this is too much hair. I'm not a fan of weaves. Now, I will do my hair in a natural protective style, twist or braids. I love that because I get to do my buns and stuff. But when it's too hot, I can't wear that. But I love my hair. I love my natural hair. I like to be able to just wet it. I love to be able to just go swimming. I love to have that freedom wearing my natural hair. People ask me, why won't you lock your hair up? And I'm like, because people with locks, it looks beautiful, but your hair grows so quick. I like to swim. It's going to be too heavy. I'm good. And I like wearing my afro sometimes. But I noticed that representation matters. So growing up, I had a friend. She always wore weaves, but she wanted her daughter to wear her natural hair. Her daughter's cousins were biracial, Puerto Rican, Latino, or something in them. So their hair was different from the little girls. But the little girl had really beautiful natural hair. It was it had a natural different tint. It was like a brown, and then it had like a blondish color. She had a beautiful natural hair color. But the little girl, not seeing people that have hair like her, decides to mess up her hair. She cut her hair. Then her mom permed it, and her hair went to crop. And she always said, "Ma, you messed up my hair." She's still, last time I saw them, that's what her daughter said. But a child needs to see representation. The little girl's walking around with her mom, and the little girl got coarse hair, and the mom got straight hair. If the little girl doesn't know it's a weave, she's not going to know. She's just going to know, mommy hair look like the two bobs, and my hair looks different. But hair. I got good hair. I got bad hair. We all have hair. Some of us more than others, but it's not that serious. It's really not. But what they have done is turn us against each other based on our hair. Someone has 4A hair and she joined a 4C group, and my friend was like, they're going to kick her out because she doesn't have 4C hair. But she was just joking. I don't think they're going to kick her out. But the fact that we have different groups based on hair types, which is a good thing, right? Because certain hair products that work in 3As or 4As, they're not going to work in the 4Cs. Like my hair loves thick products. My product is thick, right? It's made for my hair. My hair loves thick products. People that have the finer hair can't use those thick products because it weighs their hair down. So it's a good thing that they do have different groups and different videos based on your hair type, but no one's hair is better than each other's, than the next person's. Because, if you, not to disrespect the fine hair people, but, some people have fine hair. If your hair starts falling out, you don't have that much hair, right? But even with us, if our hair start falling out, you'll see it unless it's falling out in chunks, but we still shouldn't judge each other based off of our hair. We all have different type of hair, but it's okay to wear the hair that grows out of your head the way you want to wear it. You want to wear it curly? I'm going to wear my hair curly. I don't like straight hair. I'm a curly girl. I like big hair. Okay. I'm about to wrap this up, y'all. And the last one was tall or short. But basically, Willie Lynch was saying any difference. So we could take it a little bit further, right? Let's talk about Africans born in the West and Africans born in the East. Let's talk about that division. Man, y'all, I wish I could have used StreamYard because I really wanted to bring some people on, because these are the conversations that I have with my friends behind closed doors, right? On the phone or whatever. These are the conversations that I have with my friends. We build. I don't want to talk about nonsense all the time. We build. And the conversations I have with my family as well. So there's one brother we always talk, and we have disagreements, right? I look at him as an uncle. We always talk, and we have healthy disagreements, but there is definitely a division between Africans born on the continent and Africans born in America or in the West, in the UK. It's definitely a division, and the question is why. Now, I'm going to tell you what I heard from someone that's non-African. I was told that when they go to immigration, that they are told to stay away from the Black folk here. Don't know how true that is, but that is how people act, right? When people from different countries come here, do they not judge us? People in my own family judge African Americans, right? They speak better English because of us. They understand American culture because of us. But someone wouldn't let their child go see Black Panther. Oh, I heard it was political. It was political. What? First of all, if you let your child look at Iron Man, it's a Marvel comic. But we're always judged. We are always judged. Um, One thing I do when I see my African brothers and sisters, one thing I do when I see them, because you could tell, right? You can tell. We have a look, they have a look. One thing I do is I greet them. Salam alaikum. That breaks the ice. They're automatically going to say wa alaikum salam. And I start talking to them. Where are you from? Where were you born? And they tell me. And because I've been to the continent a couple times and to a couple different countries, I share. And it breaks the ice and we start talking. Now, many times they will tell me, are you sure you were born here? You sound like a foreigner. You talk like a foreigner. That's because Africa is in my heart. It's in my heart. I've been wanting to go since I was a child. My cousin reminded me of that when I was home. You've been talking about Africa since you was a kid. Yeah. But the division between us is horrible. The division between Americans and Jamaicans. Look at what happened with the track star. Oh, the Jamaican would have burnt her. Y'all Jamaican, you American. First of all, let's touch on this, right? If you are Jamaican or you are somewhere from the Caribbean, that just means the slave ship stopped there, boo-boo, okay? It doesn't mean that you're better than anyone. It doesn't mean that Americans are better than anyone. Division. The Willie Lynch Syndrome. Divide and conquer. These systems have been set into place for so long that, okay, so maybe I'm just being a pessimist. I just feel like it's not going to change. Nothing's going to change in America. The fact that people are still fighting to be known, to be seen as a human, I just feel like nothing is going to change here. I think that's why so many people are planning their black set. They are planning their escape. I don't want to say escape. This is like a prison on some level. But they're planning their way out, right? Everyone wants to live the American dream. But not everyone can. Not everyone can live in a big home. Not everyone can drive a nice car. Not everyone can make six-figure incomes. Not everyone does not have the opportunity to go to college. Everyone doesn't have the opportunity to go to a university, let alone an Ivy League college. Right? But I feel like this is why so many people are planning their way out, because this light is tearing me up. But I think that's why so many people are planning their way out, even with everything that's going on, even with the obstacles that we go through overseas. People are still going back. I'm still going back. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm just going to plan and prepare. That's it. And don't be stupid. And don't trust people. No one's going to stop me from going back to the continent. No one's going to stop me from getting some land and building my home. If I want to get married, I'll get married. But I'm going to be choosy. But I feel like this is why people are leaving. This is why people are leaving and making their black sit and their transition. Now, yes, our brothers and sisters overseas judge us and we judge them. So I feel like that's the biggest divide and conquer, because if African Americans realize how much power we have here. If our spending power is in the trillions, imagine if we took that money overseas. America will be in trouble. But they have our minds so much that the celebrities and stuff, some of them go to Africa, some of them don't want to go. There's some regular people that are non-celebrities. I ain't going to Africa. The ones that some people have money. I'm not going. Why would I want to go there? It's dirty. It's this. I look at it differently. I live in Arizona. I live in a desert. It's always dirty. It's always hot. So there's certain things, there's always a give and take in life, right? There's always a give and take. So when I leave the country, I know it's going to be dirty. I know I'm going to be walking in the dirt. I do that here, so I don't mind. I know that it's going to be hot. 2 or 3 months out of the year is hot as heck in Arizona. Okay. Not as hot as the East Coast though, because there's no humidity. So I'm used to that. When I studied abroad, I knew the lights went out. I know sometimes I will wake up and there's no water, right? So I prepared myself for that. But being around people that look like you every day, being around seeing people that have these beautiful homes and they have these amazing careers. They may not be making what Americans are making, but they have some high standing, powerful positions. And you can go to their home and have dinner and eat with. That's not happening with me in America. I don't know about everybody else, but that's not happening with me in America. I'm not going to a CEO's home and having dinner and, swimming in their pool and talking to them. Shout out to Saul Frazier. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm so grateful with all of the bad things that happen, all of the good things that happen. I can't just, brush that off like none of those things happen. Some great things happened to me last year. I met some amazing people. And I'm grateful for that. So, like I said, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. But, I see online, the fighting between our African brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters here. And it's just like, man, imagine if we could come together as a people, not just the ones in America. I'm talking about Africans around the world. If we could come together as a people, that's the revolution. That's what everyone is afraid of. That's why they don't want us to love each other. That's why they don't want us to get along. That's why they want the Willie Lynch syndrome to seep into us for thousands of years. But will you fight against it? Will you honestly try to work with your brother and sister? I try. Sometimes it's not going to work all the time, y'all. Okay? That's a perfect world. It's not going to work all the time. Excuse me. But I consciously try. People say, you're too nice. No, I give people the benefit of the doubt. You only get one chance, though. You only get one chance. One chance to show me who you really are. Right? Some things, you can accept, and some things you just have to say, man, that I can't fly with that. Right? I can't fly with that. Like, you show me who you are. I gotta bounce. But I implore you to consciously try, right? That's the only way we're going to see change. The only change I'm going to see is the change in me. What Michael Jackson said, I'm starting with the man. Okay, I don't want to get copyrighted, but y'all know what song I'm talking about. And that's where I have to start. I ain't perfect. I try to treat people nice. I set boundaries, right? So if someone says something to me, I stop them right there. I don't let it keep going. I stop it right there. You set boundaries, but I try to love my brothers and sisters. Maybe that's the cancer in me, but I try to love my brothers and sisters, right? We've been through so much and we're still going through so much. And it's not even the victim card, it's the reality card. Socioeconomics, you know. I mean, we're just being attacked on so many levels that we have to stick together and come together and try to grow and build. Detroit to Africa Radio. Nothing gonna change in America is true. Some Black people waiting on repatriations that they may never get. And that hurts. My auntie passed, right? I just said a family member, but my auntie passed and she always wanted to go to Alaska. She did want to go to Africa, though. She did. And unfortunately, she didn't get cremated because I would have taken her with me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me just greet everyone. Hello, Purelistic Health. Hi, sis. How are you? Thanks for joining. Detroit to Africa says, I'm making my exit from America. Good for you, brother. Good for you. And I hope that you meet up with some really, really good people. Because unfortunately, there are scammers all over the world. And I feel like Invest, Relocate Africa, or Kathy Hills and Kwesi, I think that they were able to do what they did to us because they played on our emotions of wanting to go back to the continent. They played on that. And they were able to scam and get all that money from everyone because they knew so many people wanted to go back. So just be careful, brother. Be careful. But I was saying that, my auntie passed away and I wish that she wanted to get cremated because I would have taken her with me to some other countries. But I'm going to travel to Alaska for her because I know she always wanted to travel. She was a nurse. She always wanted to travel. But sometimes we live in fear. We're afraid to travel on our own, right? That's partly why I created Travel with Tay Tay. It's unfortunate the things that happen, but I'm still alive, right? I'm still here. God protected me. God saved my life. No one knows that my security and his friend was trying to come back that night. Oh, we're going to stay up all night. We're going to protect you. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I believe in my whole heart that I would not be sitting here right now talking to you. But God protected me. I always say, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But I refuse to live in fear. I refuse to live in fear. Right? Like I say, I'm spiritual. I'm not, but I grew up in having a Christian background. So certain things seeped into me. And I refuse to walk in fear. I'm not by myself. My Creator is always with me. The ancestors are always with me. And I'm not going to wait for anyone. People say, oh, I'm going. My plane ticket is purchased. Y'all coming? I don't know. They will see me go and come back. My cousin always used to say, you're always traveling somewhere. I'm going with you next time. I said, brother, you got a wife and 4 children. Where the heck are you going? But even with having a wife and 4 children, he can still travel. You just plan it. No one gets up and say, oh, next week I'm going. No, you plan it. Most people plan it for a year, right? That's my next live. I don't know if y'all going to want to hear it, but it's going to have some great financial planning tips. But that's why I started Travel with Tay Tay, so people would travel. Don't wait for the next person. Live your life. You save your money. When people travel, you meet people on the airplane. Well, you meet people at the gate. They're going to the same location. You meet people on the airplane. You meet people there. You're going to meet someone. Go with a group. If there's a travel group that's going, most of the time those are more expensive. But for people that are afraid to travel by themselves, try to go with a group. it's funny because people are asking me, when are you going back? When are you going back? And they were like, well, I want to go. So there was a family. Shout out to the family that I just met at the African Art Village. Y'all are beautiful. I hope to see you all in the Gambia. But it's a few people that contacted me and were like, well, when you go back, I want to go. So maybe it'll be a Travel with Tay Tay tour group, right? Whatever it is to get people on the plane, just visit the continent. Just visit. You know, I have a few projects coming along. I still, no matter what, people need somewhere to stay. So having a guest home is on my agenda. We all need somewhere to stay. I need somewhere to stay. I don't want to have to pay someone every time I come and stay. Shout out to my sister, Jules. She don't even charge me, though. I love you, man. I love you. Not Nala. But I don't stay anywhere for free, right? I give people money, even if they tell me they don't want a penny. You give someone money. You don't stay anywhere for free. We know better than that. Yeah. So I would love to have a guest home so people can have somewhere to stay. And I was born here, so I know the comforts that we want, right? Everybody complaining, oh my God, it's hot. It was a hot night. Do y'all not know that they have rechargeable fans in the Gambia? Rechargeable fans. So you don't have to burn up all night. I think that costs about $3,500 Dalasi. That's about 3,000 Dalasi is $60, 60 US dollars. So it's between $60 and $70, maybe about $70. But they sell rechargeable fans, y'all. Y'all don't have to, stand up fans. Y'all don't have to burn up all night, just so you know. But unfortunately, many people won't get the opportunity to repatriate. But I suggest that you try to take a trip to the Gambia. So I said to the Gambia because that's just in my mind. But to the continent. Some people want to go to Rwanda. Some people want to go to East Africa, Tanzania, and Kenya. I'm biased because the Gambia is in my heart. I'm not going to say I'm not going to travel to other countries, hopefully through Each One Teach One, but hopefully I will have a home in the Gambia. That's a short-term goal. I need a home. Because God only knows how high rent is going to get. And I just feel like sooner or later, I'm going to be priced out of America and I'm not going to want to live here. I'm not going to be able to afford to live here, especially paying rent. So yeah, I'm going to finish this up. I've been on here long enough. Shout out to the people that stuck with me. I love y'all. There are just so many. It's so many things that have turned us against each other. And to know that Willie Lynch has told the slave owners to pass these rules down. He didn't call them rules. What did he say? These little things. To pass down those little differences or whatever, pass it down to their children. That's disheartening. That's why you see little children, little 2-pound children, they be like, they just be staring and looking at you like they never saw an African person before. But we know, unfortunately, it is it's taught. Hate is taught. Children don't come out hating people unless they're psychopaths, right? Hate is taught. Love is taught as well. So, as I close, let's teach love. Let each one teach one how to love each other so we can see some true change. We're not going to see it in our lifetime. We may see it sprinkle, but not as a whole. Um, I always say, in order to change generations, we have to start with the youth, right? Those are the ones that are sponges. Some of the older people, they're just set in their ways. And until they've had an experience, some type of life experience to wake them up. And some people never wake up. We see some 40, 50, 60-year-olds still being ghetto as hell, right? They're not going to change. But I always feel like if I start with the children, that's how you change a generation. Walt Disney said, something is in the minds of the children. Now, he's weird. And I never want to go to Disney World or Disneyland. I have no desire. But he realized that in the mind of a child is where you can implant things. Now, imagine if we're implanting the right things into these children, right? Not, oh, she could dance like Beyonce. Oh, she know Rihanna's song. Well, where the hell is that going to get a child? Where's that going to get them in life? I love that my nephew, I think he just turned 17 or 18 months. So when I was there, he was with my mom, and my mom has these books she got from my uncle's house when he passed away, and they're Tanzania, Nigeria, just books about Africa. Now, some of those are too advanced for him. So I went and got the book, and I was reading about Tanzania because I don't know much about Tanzania. So I was reading it, and he's so cute. Because when I get excited, I do this too. I do this. I ball my hands up. So I'm reading the book to him, and I think my mother she brought over 2 books, and those are the books that the hardcover, so he bite them, it doesn't mess up and things like that. So when she brought that book, I think it was Paw Patrol, and he was so cute. He says, he was so cute. Now, I read the book, close the book, he opens it again. I think I read that book about 20 times in like 20 minutes, right? And it's funny because when I'm talking to my mother, she's like, okay, all right. I don't want to say his name, but she'd be like, okay, all right, you want to read the book? Okay, do you want to eat? You want to read the book? All he wants her to do is read these books. And I love it because I see in preschool, they go and they don't, half those children can't read. But what do? They look at the pictures and they use their imagination to create a story. And I come over now, I'm like, what are you reading? And they just tell me whatever they created in their mind. I love that because technology has taken away the creative juices for these children. Even in Africa, the children were phones. They got the phones. They have the phones. But the children's minds are sponges. And if we put the right things in them, imagine where we would be. This is why I'm going to adopt some children, okay? I don't have any children. Who's going to take care of me when I get older? I don't want to be in a nursing home being beat by Becky. But the children, they really are our future. Not just what Whitney said, they really are our future. And if we can instill in them the things, the change that we want to see, then maybe, just maybe, the future generations, my nephew that's 18 months, maybe we will see change in his generation. So thank you for listening, you all. If you see a brother or a sister that is from the continent that was born in America, please speak. Say hi. How are you? You look nice. Compliment them if it's something that, give them a compliment. I ask you to do that because this Willie Lynch syndrome is real. I don't know who said it wasn't, but if we look around, we see that it is real. People don't care about people that are doing good things. But you let me sit here and be talking about gossip. You let me sit here and be breaking people down. People want to see that. Why? Are we that miserable with our lives that we don't want to see any positive stuff? We just want to see who's pimping who's doing this, who's doing that. What? Why? This is why I say I want out. Because people say it's entertainment. I don't want to be entertained that way. Not me. This is why I say I want out. I didn't look at TV for almost a whole year. I was living. So if, like I said, if you see your brother or your sister, speak. Hey, how you doing? Especially if you looked at some YouTube channels, right? Pick up a fun fact from a country in Africa and break the ice with that. That way we can see each other differently. You know, they see we have all these opportunities here, but they don't know. They have no idea what we go through as a people here. No idea. They work hard body-wise, right? As far as like physical, they are just like, oh my gosh, seeing them during Ramadan, you have nothing to eat or drink and you're at the top of the roof and the sun is beaming on you and you're building a home. Oh my gosh. So they are physically strong, mentally as well, because that takes a lot to deal with, right? I always feel like for Americans, we have a lot of trauma, right? We're mentally strong, but we're also mentally weak, in my opinion. We have a lot of trauma. We deal with a lot of trauma, a lot of racism, a lot of everything here. But we deal with a lot of seeing our brothers and sisters killed, you know, that if for me, when I see that, it's like it's taking a piece of me. It's chipping off a piece of me, and sometimes I just get emotional and I think about it and I just start crying. So that's trauma. That's mental abuse that we deal with here. Our brothers and sisters just have a dream to come to America. I never understood that because like I said, my stepdad is from Pakistan, right? So he tells me, you know, Shantae, you don't understand. You don't understand coming from a third world country and being super poor. I don't. And like I said in many of my videos, I'm not going to sit here and act like I understand because I don't. I'm poor here, but I'm not third world country poor, right? So I don't understand that. I don't understand that how coming to America is like the promised land. People in the Gambia, their dream, their lifetime dream is to come to the West. Oh, America's a great country. I want to come there. And I'm not going to lie, foreigners come here and they may have a better opportunity than us. The people, the Middle Eastern people that have the corner stores in our community, their loans, the loans that they get, oh my gosh, very low interest rate. They have forever to pay the loan off if they open a store in our community, in our hood. I'm gonna let that marinate. But my aunt went for a loan from a bank and her credit score was 800. Becky thought that she wasn't going to get the loan. My auntie calling her, she never called back. The woman never called back. Then once the loan went through, oh, Miss so-and-so and so-and-so, your loan. My aunt was like, I was calling you, but you didn't think that the loan was going to go through. So I don't want the loan with your company. Goodbye. I was so proud of her because she's so nice and so passive. I'm the aggressive one. Shantae, can you call this corporation? Sure will. What's the number? Give me your account number. I'll handle it. But I was so proud of her because we're always judged. They got bad credit. They don't have any money. They don't have this. They don't have that. No one knows that. No one knows unless you tell them. They have no idea what level you're on. But we're always judged. We're always judged. I've talked enough, you all. I love you all. Please, please, love on your brother and your sister that look like you. Please. Let's break down this Willie Lynch syndrome. We can break it down with love, supporting each other, loving each other. If you go to the continent, consciously release yourself of your American privileges. I'm not going to say white privileges, but your American privileges. If things move a little bit slower, take that time to breathe. Because we run around here like rats every day. On the wheel. Every day. Take that time to breathe. Take that time to rest. One of the sisters over there, she said to me, she said, girl, I get up 6 o'clock every morning in America. I think she's from Vegas. So she said she woke up at 6 o'clock in the Gambia. And she said, why am I getting up this early? Let me relax. And she said, I'm just so used to running that I didn't even know how to just relax. That's one of the reasons why I moved to Arizona. I was tired of feeling like a robot. Get up, go to work, do this, do that, do this, do this. I wasn't doing the gym that, but I was like, God, I can't live like this, all right? I cannot live like this. This is craziness. But once I stepped outside of my comfort zone, my life started changing. And I don't have everything I want. But if I did get some of the things I want, God knows I don't need them things. I'm like, oh, I want this, I want that. And then I get it, I'm like, oh, this is not what I wanted. So, I'm just fighting for the things that I do want. And that is having true financial freedom. If I find a business partner along the way, and we hitch up, then cool. If not, cool. But I will find a business partner to make some money with. I know that for a fact. So yeah, love on each other. Support each other. If you see someone that's selling something and you have the funds, support them. Right? We always need something, and so many people are creating small businesses, and I'm on a budget though. I'm on a budget. I cannot. I'm on a strict budget. I have spent too much money, lost too much money. So I'm on a strict budget. But if you see someone, I bought something for someone. I can't show you because she may be on this live. So I can't show you until the gift gets to her. But, I went to the African Art Village recently last weekend. And I bought this beauty. Isn't she lovely? She's for sale. Yeah. If the sister does not buy it, it's going to go on to travelwithtaytay.com. I have some sneakers, some shoes. I have some mango butter that I will be uploading to travelwithtaytay.com so you all can purchase some. Because I know the African Art Village only comes to my town once a year. And that video is coming. I just need to edit it. Because some people live here and they've never been there. They live in my town and have never heard of the African Art Village. So I took my friend and she was like, yes. She was shopping. I'm like, good, it's you, huh? Not me, girl. I bought some mango butter, some inventory, and that's about it in this purse and a gift. That's it. They were like, you're not going to buy any clothes? I said, absolutely not. I'm going to be going to the Gambia soon. I'm going to get my clothes to the Gambia. But yeah, y'all, support your sister, love your sister, support your brother, love your brother. Look out for the village, the children. We are the village, right? I love you. Thanks for watching. Mentally fight against the Willie Lynch Syndrome because we better than that. We better than that, and we know that. Deuces.